Okay, kids, so here's a smattering of different objects that I have done over the years. I've used as demonstration objects for this project. They have some pluses and some minuses on each one of them. Maybe I'll just kind of go over it. I mean, you guys are going to choose whatever you're going to choose. But toys are really a good thing. You can see that most of these are toys. The thing about toys is that a lot of times they're mechanical, they're bilaterally symmetrical, which means they've got a right side, a left side. And so like this little dude, he's got some personality too. He's kind of interesting. Little McDonald's toys, if you got anything like that kicking around. Little siblings are good for this sort of thing. Just sneak something off or ask their permission to use something. You know, cars are a good, toy cars in particular are more interesting than real cars a lot of the time. I like this little guy. The one thing that's tricky about it is that all the corners are really rounded off. And when you've got a lot of round edges, that can complicate things a little bit for you. This object is also really, really round. The thing is round is all right when it comes to cylinders. When it comes to lots of, oh geez, I don't know, things that are modified like that, you know, rounded edges, like on this thing, you know, that can slow you down a little bit. There's no problem with it. I mean, I'll show you what I've been doing with these. But I think that these are good objects, all of them. I wouldn't have chosen them if they weren't good. But like this guy, he's really squarish. And if there's lots of square, like corners, planes that abruptly shift from one to the other, it's a little easier. If you've got lots of rounded edges, you know, then you're in for a little bit of modification of your original design, okay? All of these have that bilateral symmetry that I'm talking about, okay? You can do this with objects that aren't bilaterally symmetrical, but I think it's easier. This guy, really complicated. I got not as far on the drawing of this guy with that particular class as I would have liked to, just because those wings are coming up in a really wacky way, and they're shaped in a strange way. It just makes it complicated. This guy too, this sort of bunny rabbit, or maybe it's a dog, I don't know, but these things are a little bit tricky. I'll show you kind of what I did with both of those as we go on, okay? This object right here is an object that I think was particularly good. It's not a toy, it's just like a little tap thing here. And what I want you to do is I want you, when you're making your studies, if you can make it as close to tracing as possible. So what I did is I actually kind of set that there and traced around it, and then moved that out of the way, looked at it, and fixed my tracing, because every time you trace something, it kind of it kind of sucks, you know? So you have to come back and clean it up, you know? You can see that that fits in there almost exactly. Same thing over here. You know, I put it like this to get this study, right? Ta-da! You know what I'm saying? Try to get it right on. And then this third direction, right? So I ended up having, turn it like that, like 3 different studies for this, you know, particular project, okay? That's what you're looking for in the objects, and that's what you want your studies to look like.